All right, welcome back to another edition of the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. I'm your host, Matt Sierra. With me, as always, my boy Jay Merck, Jay Mercules.
What up?
Jay Hove.
Yeah.
Busy week.
It was.
Busy. Let's get it started with JR Gordon of MMABuzz.com on the Inked Out Buzz Block. What's going on, JR?
I tell you guys, there has never been a better weekend to be sponsored by Zions than this weekend. Oh, my gosh, what a crazy time for Colorado fight fans in MMA.
I went through 2 cases this weekend alone.
Well, I want to say welcome to all of the fight fans, and this was by far Colorado's busiest MMA weekend in this state's history. And because of that, today we have 3 events to report on. From those events, all of our of-the-night moments brought to you by Inked Out. Inked Out had a huge presence at all the shows this weekend because they had multiple athletes competing. They also had some of their coaching staff on hand for the fighters. And, of course, you could see fans throughout all the venues sporting their gear. If you want to become a part of the Inked Out Nation, you can get their clothing at www.inkedOut.net. That's inkedout.net. And if you want to train with the Inked Out athletes, you can visit them at their MMA training facility at the Body Firm, 721 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan, Colorado. So, first up, Friday night was Bobby Lashley's show, Ultimate Top Team Fight Nights 4. This event was held at the Ultimate Top Team Altitude's new gym. And this show has become really well known for showcasing the talents of new fighters, a lot of guys making their debuts. So we want to get to the Inked Out submission of the night, which goes to Tony Dominguez for his rear naked choke victory. And his brother also won his fight by rear naked choke. So congratulations to the Dominguez brothers.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Then we want to say the Inked Out knockout of the night. Congratulations to Mr. Will Smith, won his fight in 39 seconds.
Will Smith. The Fresh Prince?
Yeah, maybe.
Go ahead, JR, my bad.
Yeah, it was a crushing knockout. He landed an overhand right, followed up with 1 or 2 ground and pound shots, went home with the victory early in the first round.
Nice.
And then the Inked Out fight of the night goes to Ethan Henry and Mark Holman. These guys put on a 3-round back-and-forth battle, really showcased their grappling skills, wrestling skills. One of them wrestler, one of them jiu-jitsu guy, those 2 playing off of each other, and it really showcased the heart of both fighters, and they both came in great condition. So that was absolutely a very fun fight to watch. Now, we want to give a quick update for the people that were in attendance. We referenced Mr. Smith's knockout of the night. His opponent had to be taken from the venue by ambulance, and so I want to let everybody know that after that knockout, word is he's doing fine, and in fact was even looking pretty good before he left the facility. So for people that had been asking about how he's doing, it seems like everything's going to be just fine.
Good. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, it was a little brutal to watch. Good knockout. Things were clean. Then the opponent stepped back and started having some small seizures. So that's always a scary thing to see, but doctors on hand taking care of everybody, and it sounds like things are going to be good. So
Yeah.
Happy for that.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that brings us to Saturday afternoon at the Grizzly Rose, where Beatdown MMA and the Rocky Mountain Bad Boys held their Proving Ground show. These guys absolutely packed the venue. Fans treated to some really good fights there. The Inked Out submission of the night goes to Mr. Mark McGlasson, who separated his opponent from consciousness with a quick arm triangle choke. Congratulations to him on the victory. And the Inked Out knockout of the night goes to Gabe Marquez, who retained his Rocky Mountain Bad Boys title with an 11-second knockout. So congratulations to him for putting it together again. And the Inked Out fight of the night belonged to Justin Moss and Jarred Jordan. And these guys put on a really fast-paced ground battle, so that was really entertaining for everybody to watch. Now, Here at MMA Meltdown and from the MMA Buzz Block, we, of course, want to give a really special congratulations to American Ground and Pound founder and now American Ground and Pound fighter, Mike Larita.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, Mike, way to go, buddy.
Yeah.
52 years old, stepped into the cage. This man had basically one aspiration, and that was to set an example for the wrestlers that he coaches. And he did exactly that.
I think for his next fight, he's going to have to take about 10 minutes to learn some basic jiu-jitsu, though, you know?
Possibly so, possibly so. Yeah, he had back control for a little bit and wrestled his way through. Didn't look for the choke, but the opportunity was maybe there. But what I want to say was that Mike and his opponent, Devin Gray, a couple of heavyweights, traded heavyweight shots, most of which would have dropped lesser competitors, and these guys did it in combinations, all 3 rounds, multiple times. So they're getting a special inked-out Heart of the Night honors for going the distance. I mean, these guys just really put it on the line. So once again, congratulations to Mike, because I know it was a really special moment for him.
Yeah, I know his wife's really excited about the way he looks today, too.
Oh, my gosh. You guys need to check him out on Facebook. Guy looks like he was in a cage fight or something.
Something like that.
All right, so that brings us to Saturday night, where at the First Bank Center in Broomfield was the Who's Next event put on by Sven Bing and the Ring of Fire. You guys know Sven's events always showcase the biggest names in the state, and the athletes for this show all came out and really put it on the line so they could close out 2011 in good fashion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the inked-out submission of the night goes to Lacey Shookman for her guillotine choke. Almost seemed to come out of nowhere. She was getting taken down by Michelle Blaylock, looped the arm over the top, fell back to guard, ended up catching the 125-pound Women's Young Guns Championship. So congratulations to Lacey on that win.
Yeah, it was an impressive showing on Lacey's end.
No doubt. And her boxing really looked on point. You can tell that she's had a professional boxing bout recently because her striking was just super crisp.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And she was able to control that distance and really keep Michelle's strength at bay with just keeping her out of range with those jabs.
Absolutely. And then the inked-out knockout of the night went to Mr. Randy Caruso. He landed what can just best be described as a crushing right hand. Only 25 seconds into his fight, one-punch knockout. So congratulations to Mr. Caruso going home for the win, or
Yeah.
with the win, rather.
It was a vicious knockout.
Yeah, it was. Then our inked-out fight of the night goes to Justin Highlight Gaethje and Donnie Bell.
Yeah,
These guys had a back-and-forth fight full of action, highlight reel takedowns, and from start to finish, it was just an all-out brawl, and it ended with more highlights from Gaethje. Gaethje, just a super intelligent fighter in how he times his takedowns, and then how he utilizes his striking and picks his targets. And also for somebody that's fairly new in his professional career, I was really impressed by how calm he was during this fight and taking instructions from his corner.
Yeah, there was definitely a few moments where he could have been viewed as being in trouble, but he definitely did handle those moments well, and it was a great test for him.
Yeah, a lot of fun to watch that fight. So you can find written articles from all of these shows at www.mmabuzz.com or www.mmameltdown.us. Anybody wants to go revisit the moments, check out the write-ups there.
Yeah, I think Doc Alex wants to revisit those moments.
That's awesome. Good stuff.
Doc Alex, get over here and get on this show, please.
Please.
Make me beg you on air already.
Indeed. All right. So, a little bit of other news. We have a couple of Colorado fighters that have competed out of state. Want to give them a mention. Ramiko Blackman defeated the 11-1 fighter Dakota Cochran by unanimous judges' decision in Nebraska on Friday night. So, congratulations to him, driving out of state, getting the victory. And also, congratulations go out to Colorado wrestler Clarissa Chun. She won the U.S. Freestyle Nationals, and up next for her is going to be the Olympic trials. So congratulations and best wishes from MMA Buzz and the MMA Meltdown team.
Indeed.
For sure. You can appreciate that, right, Jared?
Oh, absolutely. I've been following her for a while now. She's very talented. So
All Jared does is lay on people.
I wish you would make the step over to MMA, but, you know, if you're being one of the best in the world at your given sport, why not stick with it, I guess?
Yeah, I think after this 2012 Olympics, we'll see a lot of the high-level men and women who are at the training center now make the switch over, but they want to make that one last run at the Olympics. Can't blame them for that.
Absolutely not, and that's a great point in what, is going to be an even bigger step up in MMA as we get some of those judo and wrestling athletes making the step over. So we're going to see even more good stuff, and especially in Colorado, like you said, with the Olympic Training Center being here.
Absolutely.
All right, so on Friday night on HDNet, they had the Legacy Fighting Championship 9 event, and current Fight to Win heavyweight champion Derek Lewis won his fight, and we're going to get to see him again in Colorado when he defends his Fight to Win title versus Jeremiah Constant January 27th at the Fight to Win Paramount Prize Fighting Show in Denver. So guys on the national stage, stepping it up, getting wins, and then coming back to Colorado to defend titles. Man, this is a great state to be in if you're an MMA fan.
Right.
So last thing I want to mention, guys, is don't forget that pre-registration now open for the Fight to Win Tournament of Champions 10 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. That takes place at the National Western Complex February 11th. You can get full information, and you can register online at www.f2wmma.com. That's www.f2wmma.com. So, Matt, you putting your jiu-jitsu skills together, buddy. We're going to see you at the tournament?
Nah, not just yet, buddy. I got a lot of fine-tuning to do. Right now I'm just figuring out how not to get choked out every single time.
And Jared, how about you? We're going to see you putting some wrestling on display at the jiu-jitsu tournament?
I would love to. It all depends. I might have a fight that same weekend back in New Jersey again. So just depending on if that goes through or not, I would love to take part in that.
Well, whichever route you go, buddy, you know that we wish you luck.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
All right. Well, I just want to say a special thanks to all the fans, all the promoters, and especially all the sponsors that made this such an amazing weekend, and, of course, to all the athletes that trained hard, put it on the line. Basically, thank you, Colorado, for a spectacular MMA weekend. And remember, we are Mile High Sports.
Thanks, JR. You take it easy, buddy.
You also,
JR.
sir.
Man, it was an exhausting weekend, enjoyable. I think there was about a total of, how many fights do you think all that calculated up to? About 28?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
47?
Yeah,
Strikeforce?
Yeah, forgot about the Strikeforce.
Bananas. I need a case design because I'm slowly falling asleep over
Step
here.
it up. Come on.
Yeah, let's go. It's go time.
Energy's picking up when we come back.
And we got Justin Gaethje coming on just a little bit later, so that'll be awesome. Figure out, it's no question now why they call him Highlight, if you didn't know. In addition to that, we got Dr. Bob coming on, one of the industry's best chiropractic individuals here in the state of Colorado, works with a lot of MMA individuals. But you are tuned in to the MMA Meltdown Radio show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7.
A blue Christmas? How about an orange and blue Christmas? We are Mile High Sports.
If you are looking for the ultimate relaxation, better performance and functionality, and a healthier you, then check out A Better Way to Feel. A Better Way to Feel offers clients an alternative solution to pain. Massage can help improve performance in athletes, allow for better functionality, increase recovery time from injuries, and more. Contact Maureen Reardon at 303-888-9515 or go to abetterwaytofeel.com. Maureen taught the massage program at Heritage College and has worked with the Colorado Rapids and MMA athletes. Mention this ad and save 20% off services. A Better Way to Feel, an alternative to pain.
MMA Meltdown powered by Science. Available at Circle K Conoco, Circle K Shell, and Jenny's Market. Science, the official energy drink of the UFC.
Studio Vienna at Shred a New Look offers a full-service salon including customized sports injury massage treatments, full-service skincare treatments including waxing, makeup, and both hair and nail care. We offer services for both men and women, and all our services are fully customizable. We are located at 6050 West 92nd Avenue in Westminster, Colorado, or you can call us at 303-424-6461 for more information. Right now, we are offering 3 one-hour massage sessions, normally $195, now only $135. And you will get a free month of training at 303 Training Center, home of Dwayne Ludwig, with any purchase of $65 and more from Studio Vienna at Shred a New Look. Call us now, 303-424-6461.
Do you remember when the internet first came out and you asked yourself, do I need a website? Well, now you need to ask yourself, do I need a phone app? Well, the answer is absolutely yes with AppBuilderNow.com. You can promote your business, increase revenue share, bottom line, and sell your products with AppBuilderNow.com. See what they can do for your business. Go to AppBuilderNow.com for a free trial to see how a phone app will increase your business and revenues. That's AppBuilder.com.
Would you like to train with legends such as UFC and Pride heavyweight champion Antonio Nogueira, Jeremy Horn, Royce Gracie, Dan Severn, and more? Then Mile High MMA Network is for you. Mile High MMA Network is where fighters and fans come together for your seminar needs. If you're interested in teaching or attending one of our seminars, contact Jeff at 719-623-9504 or go to MileHighMMANetwork.com. Again, that's MileHighMMANetwork.com.
What's up, MMA Meltdown fans? Here's your chance to win free tickets for an upcoming MMA live local fight for free. What? Did you say for free? That's right, for free. Simply go to MMAMeltdown.us and click Win Tickets for your chance to win 2 free tickets. So this is your chance to check out live local MMA events for free. What? Did you say for free? Yes, that's what I said, for free. Only at MMAMeltdown.us. Certain restrictions apply at MMAMeltdown.us.
The Colorado Fight Book is Colorado's only MMA coupon book for Colorado's MMA industry. We drive you new business, more exposure, more revenue, all at zero cost to advertisers. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter as we tweet local deals. Fight Book is a win-win situation for all Colorado MMA fans and businesses. We give you repetitive exposure to customers who are already interested in your product. Join the best gyms, events, clothing, and equipment suppliers and promoters in the state.
Bring it.
MMA Meltdown, powered by Zions. Available at your local King Soopers, Loaf and Jug, Jenny's Market, Circle K convenience stores, and 7-Eleven.
What?
All right, welcome back to the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. My boy Jay Merck is over here doing the Cupid Shuffle.
Man, Chris got me fired up with that song.
Got it going.
Brought me back to the days.
That song, of course, in reference to the Will Smith knockout earlier mentioned by J.R. Gordon.
Getting jiggy with it.
I want it Who Let the Dogs Out. I don't know why Chris is hating on that. Would you ask me, Chris, if I was from the 90s or what was that?
If you were a 13-year-old girl from the year 2000.
The answer is yes. He is a 13-year-old girl.
See how you are?
Oh, Tebow just scored.
Oh, my goodness. So,
Love it.
Ring of Fire, who's next? What was it 42? Ring of Fire 42, who's next?
That's right.
So, of that amazing card, again, we had some great fights, and just want to put this out there right away. Tyler Toner's walkout, phenomenal.
Phenomenal?
Phenomenal.
Close enough.
It was pretty
Close
awesome. It was pretty awesome. The way they had the whole lights and the the song.
Yeah, Thunderstruck.
Sync together.
I'm not sure if he's used that in the past, but on my way over to the arena, I was saying, how could he not use that? And
You were kind of thinking about that?
Yeah, I like to think about other people's entrance music a lot.
You were listening to a video in the car about some guy dissing you on your last fight?
Yeah, man, I finally got the actual commentary and stuff associated with the video, and I'm all fired up now. It was the guy I was fighting. His teammate was announcing, and he was on The Ultimate Fighter. His name is Jeff Lenz. He's a tough reject. Couldn't cut it at that level. So he was
tough reject?
Yeah, he was bashing me, saying the ref should be standing it up. I was in side control. That's one of the, passing his guard to side control. It's one of the most dominant positions you can be in. So that was strange. But I'd love to fight that guy. Hey, stop watching the football game.
I'm not watching the football game. I'm hearing you tell your story.
Trying to say my story's boring?
This is the most words you've strung together in a sentence since you've been on this show. I was just in utter amazement.
Give me a break. I get punched in the head a lot.
Yeah, apparently while you're laying down on the job.
Yeah, I'm a lay in prayer.
So we're going to have to come up with some kind of rebuttal, start some kind of a little bit of a beef between the two of you, huh?
No, I don't care about him.
You just spent the first 3 minutes of this segment talking about how he was a tough reject.
Well, he is a tough reject.
Follow up with I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I would fight him.
I seen a single tear roll down your cheek when you were looking at the video.
That's true.
Taking it back to Ring of Fire 42, who's next? The premise of the show was who's next? Who's going to be this next emerging star out of Colorado MMA? They had the lineup, Cerrone, Schaub, all the former greats that came out of Ring of Fire, Brandon Thatch. Of the bouts that night, who fits that title? Who's next most to you?
Well, the one that's closest to getting into UFC is someone who's already been there, and Tyler Toner. Whether he gets put back in the UFC now or maybe after another fight or so, I think it's inevitable that at some point, 2012, we will see him in the UFC again. In terms of a prospect, I think it's Justin Gaethje. He's an incredible athlete, super explosive. We saw him whip that guy around the ring with all those hip tosses, and I can say that myself and pretty much everyone else of his teammates at Grudge have been on the receiving end of that hip toss as well. So I think it's just a matter of him continuing to fine-tune his skills.
We're going to have Justin on the show just a little bit. Don't go all crazy. It was a simple question of the person's name.
Don't you ever cut me off like that again.
Justin was awesome. How surprising, or was it surprising at all to you, the performance of Lacey Schuchman?
It was very surprising, and that's probably ignorance on my part, just not doing enough film study on her. But
you're just ignorant.
I think, you ignorant. Like most people, I was expecting Michelle to win. I thought she was bigger. I know Lacey has fought at 110 pounds before, so I was expecting Michelle to have a significant size and strength advantage. But man, Lacey came out. Her stand-up looked great. And then that guillotine, I was not expecting that at all, but she locked it in tight. It was a wrap.
Now, another fighter obviously putting on a dominating performance was Ryan Schultz. Angelo Duarte, all the props in the world of the guy. He takes the fights that nobody else will take, and he believes that he can win them. So, he took this match against Ryan, and, right from the get-go, it was pretty much just complete control on Ryan's part.
Ryan Schultz is a very, very tough guy. He's a veteran of the sport. I think he's got, somewhere around 50 fights. He's an IFL champion. He's good, very good wrestling, very physically strong, good submissions, and we saw his power as he dropped Angelo very early in the fight. So, Angelo, yeah, I mean, he'll fight anyone, and I don't think that's always the best idea. I mean, if you're trying to build a career, you're coming off 3 or 4 losses, maybe fighting a guy who's got way more experience than you and can match some of your strengths is maybe not the best idea. So I'd like to see him maybe step back and build up his skills for the future.
Now, I guess it really would all depend, and maybe this is a question best asked of Angelo himself, but really, where do you want to be with? I mean, why are you fighting to begin with? Is it a passion of yours? Are you just doing it because you love to bang? Is this something you're trying to make a living off of? Are you trying to make it to the bigger shows nationally? Because I would assume that people fight for multiple reasons. I mean, considering how big MMA is and the multiple levels, that everybody has to have different motives for fighting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I'm sure it's a combination for Angelo. I know he's a competitor. He was a great wrestler, All-American in college. So I'm sure he's doing it, one, to feel that competitive fire. And, I'm sure he has big goals in the sport. But, if your goal is to get to the top level, you have to have a strategy to get there. And, that's surrounding yourself with the right team. That's, just taking the right matchups and everything, and so that you can eventually get to where you want to be. And, right now he's lost a couple in a row, so he needs to, get back on track with that.
Yeah, I think it's a situation where Angelo Duarte, he has a basic skill set that's important in MMA. I think he has a lot of potential. But again, I think, like you're saying, surrounding yourself with the right type of team members and the right type of coaching staff is very important, especially at the level
And that's
that
why
he's at.
that's why it's important to have a good manager and a good coach. Because if you ask a fighter, they'll say, "Yeah, I'll fight that guy. I'll fight anyone." But you need someone who's been in the game and really understands the business and can make those decisions for you. Because promoters will kind of manipulate a fighter's his toughness. They'll challenge his toughness or say, "Oh, you don't want to fight someone." A fighter should be willing to fight anyone, but then you need to have someone looking out for your best interest. And
Yeah, absolutely.
that's why I feel good in a good situation where I have good people around me who can help me make those decisions.
It's nice to hear the business side of you.
Yeah,
because you're all about
I'm
this.
not just
I'm a fighter. I'm a gladiator. I have all this heart, and
I'm not just a pretty face.
Oh, come on, really? That's calendar material. Jeez. Now, when you get a fight offer from somebody like Seth, I mean, or Sven and Seth, especially with Seth's Paramount card coming up, but I mean, Angelo's on a Ring of Fire card. So I don't think people can necessarily judge his performance off of last night's. I mean, he was at the elite stage in terms of Colorado MMA. I think what you're saying is definitely a good idea in terms of taking a step back. Michelle Blaylock, I think she's going to come back stronger and bigger than ever. I think that there's some lessons you can only learn through loss.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're going to lose in this sport. That's just a part of the sport, So it really just depends on how you learn from that and if you make the necessary adjustments. I'm sure, she's got a new team. She's still trying out their system, still getting comfortable with that Muay Thai style. So I think we'll continue to see improvements there. And, she probably was not expecting Lacey to be able to submit her. So now she'll have some things to work on. So she seems like a very positive, hardworking person. So I don't think there's any reason to doubt her coming back better.
And what about Johnny Torres stepping in on 1 day's notice to fight Scott Cleave?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough fight to take because Scott Cleaves is a very good guy. I mean, he's a great wrestler, great college wrestler, big-time power. So to take a fight on 1 day notice, I mean, maybe if you're already training for another fight and you feel ready to go, but again, maybe not the best decision in the world.
I was impressed with Johnny when he first came out. He was changing levels really well. His head movement was fantastic. I thought that he was really going to be able to make a run at this with only 1 day's notice. Again, I can't really speak on where he was at that point that he got the notice that he was going to take the fight or when he decided to take the fight. But he looked crisp. He looked like he was in fight shape. He just got caught with some leg kicks.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not going to question the guy's decision making. I don't know him. I don't know what was going on. But I think there's time for risk. If the UFC calls you up and says, we'll give you an opportunity, that's a risk that's an opportunity you cannot turn down. Maybe even if you lose, they're going to give you another fight. You're going to be fighting on a big stage, making a lot more money than you would.
That's a situation similar to what Elliot Marshall, right? Because he got called on short notice to take a fight, and then he ended up having, a couple fights after that come out of that same type of situation.
Yeah, exactly. So the UFC usually rewards you for stepping up on short notice.
And Zuffa in general. I mean, the same thing with Lamumba.
Yeah, exactly. With
Lamumba had an
Strikeforce,
opportunity to come in last minute, and then now he won, his last bout.
Yeah, so like you said, it all comes down to your motivation. If you just love fighting, you want to get in there and scrap, and then who cares? Take the fight on whatever amount of notice you're given. But if you have a plan to make it to a certain point in your career, there's things you want to weigh out, and taking a 1 day notice fight against a great fighter is maybe not the best way to get to where you're trying to go.
Now, main event, Tyler Thunder, Nick Macias. I mean, I was looking forward to this fight so much. It was so exciting. There was so much emotion involved in it. I mean, obviously, you and I, we talk to these guys on a pretty regular basis. We become, we develop these relationships with them, and it's really tough to watch two guys like that 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 you're concerned about kind of bang, and ultimately knowing that one of them is going to lose. Tyler, his striking looked crisp. I mean, he looked on point. He scrambled out of some situations that maybe were a little bit dicey for him. I mean, ultimately, I think it was a really good fight.
Yeah, it was a very good fight, and I thought going in, that was going to be the key to the fight, is whether Nick could get those takedowns and keep Tyler down. And he was doing a good job of pressing forward, so that Tyler couldn't really let his hands go the first couple rounds. But Tyler did a great job of staying up on his feet against the cage, and if he did hit the ground, he was up pretty quickly after. So in the times he was up, he was able to land the better strikes, especially in the third round, sort of putting his combinations, kicks, knees, everything together. So that was really the difference, was the takedown defense allowing him to use his striking advantage.
Now, when going into the fight, I thought the advantage would be on Macias's end in terms of going into the later rounds of the fight. but Tyler Toner did a fantastic job of stuffing some of the double leg attempts and some of the single leg attempts. He found himself in really good positions when he did fall down to the ground. It was just a really good fight. I mean, the entire event, in my eyes, was a success. I kind of just wish a little bit more that the crowd would have been a little bit thicker.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised. It was a little bit smaller crowd than I've seen at some of the past Ring of Fires, and I don't know if that's because the holiday season's coming up, so people are trying to save a little extra money.
Well, you figure you got the Ultimate Top Team fights on Friday.
Right.
You got the Grizzly Rose fights earlier on in that day. You got Christmas coming up.
Strikeforce was on at night.
Strikeforce was on.
So, yeah, I mean, I think people owe it to themselves to get out to the next Ring of Fire. The First Bank Center is an awesome venue. Sven always brings in great fighters, guys like Ryan Schultz and, in the past, plenty of UFC guys. So, I mean, it's a great atmosphere. So I think if you have a chance to go to the next one, definitely do it.
It was good to see some new booths there. I mean, really it's a sign that the sport is growing, that companies are seeing the value within MMA, and they're setting up shops at events like Ring of Fire. I mean, there was at least 2 or 3 new clothing companies at the Grizzly Rose fights, the Rocky Mountain Bad Boy Grizzly Rose fights, and there was like 2 or 3 as well at the Ring of Fire, in addition to the usual suspects, Joe Cordova with Brawlin, Inked Out, obviously there. 303 had their booth set up, but there was, a good
definitely.
amount of
I mean, you
vendors
want to get out and get in contact with your target audience, and what better way to come out to an actual event and talk to the people who are going to be buying your products.
It was a good time. There was we took Anthony, our Today's Youth Tomorrow's Champion participant down there.
Right.
He got hooked up with Inked Out. Thanks again to Inked Out and Guy. He got hooked up with Brawlin gear thanks to Joe Cordova, and he got to take a bunch of pictures.
Awesome.
And I think he got legitimately 3 invitations to train at gyms.
Wow. Hopefully he takes them up on that offer.
Just another sign of how important Colorado MMA is to the community and what they're doing outside of the cage. So thanks to everybody that was involved last night. Thanks, Sven, for putting on an awesome show. Keith and Jeff, good job at the Grizzly Rose show. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Man, next weekend, what do we got coming on? A couple fights here?
I think next weekend will be a slow weekend just because of Christmas, but then we'll ramp up the following weekend with all the New Year's shows. New Year's Eve shows, got the Brock Lesnar Overeem card kind of bringing in the year, so it should be exciting.
All right, coming back, we got Justin Gaethje coming up. He's going to talk to us about his win last night at Ring of Fire. But you are tuned into the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7.
Have yourself a merry little playoff run. We are Mile High Sports.
MMA Meltdown powered by Science. Available at Circle K Conoco, Circle K Shell, and Jenny's Market. Science, the official energy drink of the UFC.
Attention, MMA Meltdown fans. Are you looking for medical coverage but have been denied because of a pre-existing condition, or were approved with an astronomical premium and high deductible? Well, put an MMA Meltdown tap out to insurance premiums with guaranteed approval and 0 deductibles. And do what MMA Meltdown does and go to I'veGotCoverage.com. That's I'veGotCoverage.com. And be entered to win 2 free tickets to the next MMA event at Red & Jerry's, and put a submission on high premiums with I'veGotCoverage.com.
The Colorado Fight Book is Colorado's only MMA coupon book for Colorado's MMA industry. We drive you new business, more exposure, more revenue, all at 0 cost to advertisers. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter as we tweet local deals. Fight Book is a win-win situation for all Colorado MMA fans and businesses. We give you repetitive exposure to customers who are already interested in your product. Join the best gyms, events, clothing, and equipment suppliers and promoters in the state.
The best party in town also has the best sports in town, Fox and Hound. Catch all the gameplay action on their big screen TVs. Try all their mouth-watering appetizers and entrees. You'll score big with their selection of ice-cold beers on tap. Get into the Fox and Hound and get into the game. Looking for a great place for your holiday party? They got you covered. Hurry into their 4 Denver area locations today. Fox and Hound. Sports, spirits, and fun.
Do you remember when the internet first came out and you asked yourself, do I need a website? Well, now you need to ask yourself, do I need a phone app? Well, the answer is absolutely yes with appbuildernow.com. You can promote your business, increase revenue share, bottom line, and sell your products with appbuildernow.com. See what they can do for your business. Go to appbuildernow.com for a free trial to see how a phone app will increase your business and revenues. That's appbuilder.com.
Intelligent fans choose Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. Your town, your teams, your voice. 1510, 93.7. Your station for intelligent sports talk.
If they're going to go with Tebow, they better be right. You can't wait for 2 years and say, oh, you know what? It just didn't work out. Dang.
Your sports station, 1510, 93.7, Mile High Sports.
What's up, MMA Meltdown fans? Here's your chance to win free tickets for an upcoming MMA live local fight for free. What? Did you say for free? That's right, for free. Simply go to MMAmeltdown.us and click Win Tickets for your chance to win 2 free tickets. So this is your chance to check out live local MMA events for free. What? Did you say for free? Yes, that's what I said, for free. Only at MMAmeltdown.us. Certain restrictions apply at MMAmeltdown.us.
Lift, kickbox, swim, and save at the brand new Bally Sport Club in Aurora opening this December. Join before the club opens and save big with our founding member rates. Hurry into the existing Bally Total Fitness at 13801 East Exposition Avenue in Aurora to join the new Bally Sport and save big today. Restrictions apply. Hurry, offer ends December 15th. Lift, kickbox, swim, and save at the brand new Bally Sport Club in Aurora opening this December.
MMA Meltdown, powered by Zions. Available at your local King Soopers, Loaf and Jug, Jenny's Market, Circle K convenience stores, and 7-Eleven.
Now pockets are sick and hustle for the cash, so it's hard to knock. Everybody got their own thing coming, see chasing worldwide through the hard times.
Crazy today with this little soundtrack. I need a soundtrack to this show, Chris. Can you make that happen?
Oh, we'll work on that for you guys.
All right.
We're still waiting for Criss Cross.
Cut the CD.
The next commercial break.
Yeah, I want some crisscross or something crazy. Some supersonic.
I like it.
You like it. We are back with the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. Our next guest is the highlight man himself, and that's actually his fight name, Justin Gaethje. Justin, what's going on, man?
Hey, not much, guys. How's it going?
It's going great. How was the flight?
Oh, man, it was good.
You
I'm a little beat up today, a little sore, but it was fun.
You shot down to Arizona?
Yeah, I just got my bags from the baggage claim right now.
So you're walking through the security check. Are they looking at you a little funny considering what you just went through?
No, the stitches are right in the eyebrows, so they're kind of hard to tell right now, too.
Nice. So, Justin, 7-0 as an amateur, 3-0 as a professional fight. You've only had one fight end with a decision. Again, your nickname is the Highlight. Was this by far your toughest test so far?
I mean, he was very tough, but I would say that the one I actually went and won a split decision was probably my toughest one because, I wasn't as rounded as I am now. But, yeah, I mean, it was a tough fight. It was a war, and it was fun.
And you're talking about the match with Scott Cleave, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was a great one.
So you're going into this fight against an individual in the form of Donnie Bell. What was it were you specifically, training for these situations or just trading with him? I mean, you had some great judo tosses in there. I mean, several. How many tosses did you have?
Like 3 in the first 20 seconds.
Ridiculousness.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, boss.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't train specifically, to go out there and do that. It's just kind of how I fight. I have a wrestling background. I've been wrestling my whole life, so I was going out there. I knew he was going to try to shoot and take me down, and he actually did take me down, which was not that good, but it was good. It was good. It tested me, and I got to work on some stuff now.
Justin, most of your fights actually came, while you were competing during college as a wrestler, where you're an All-American. Tell us about the impact now that you're able to focus full time on fighting. Hooking up with Grudge Training Center, and the impact that's had on your development as more than just a wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, those coaches down there are great. Trevor Whitman, he works hard with us, man. He gives us everything he got, and will work with us as much as we want. And yeah, it was tough. It was tough trying to compete, in wrestling, and especially since I live an hour away from the gym, I have to drive down there 4 to 5 times a week. So last week was my first week that I'm done with school, so it was the first week that I could really be down there all week, and I'm going to move down there soon, and I'm really excited to be down at the Grudge and be down training there every day.
Okay, so you are making the move full time down to Wheat Ridge?
Yeah, that's the plan right now. When I get back from Arizona, I'm going to move down there.
Perfect.
Are you not at all concerned that nobody's going to want to fight you anymore, Justin? You're putting in crazy.
I didn't hear that.
I said, are you starting to get concerned that nobody's going to want to fight with you or fight you anymore? I mean, you're going crazy. You're about to make a full-time move down to Grove. It's going to make you even more of a dangerous individual. I mean, how ready are you? Do you feel that you're ready for a bigger stage?
I love to compete, and I love, the bigger stage will just bring more adrenaline, and that's what I'm in it for. So, yeah, that's what I want. And, there's tough guys out there everywhere, man. Anybody can lose any day, and just got to go out there and fight.
Justin, a lot of wrestlers come into MMA and they kind of get ripped on for being, using lay and pray and just not having a very exciting style. Your nickname is the highlight, and in pretty much every fight, you're throwing guys around the ring, knocking them out, putting on, usually the most exciting night of the fight. Is that something where you feel like you have to go out and perform, or is that just kind of your style and it kind of happens on its own where your fights always end up exciting?
I go out there and I want to finish it as fast as possible so I can get my family, get their nerves down and stop giving them heart attacks. That's always my plan. I don't like to lay and pray. I mean, 3 rounds of sitting there doing nothing I think it's pointless. You might as well go out there and try to stop the fight. And if you get caught while doing that, then I don't see that as that big of a problem.
Now, what is it that makes you so special? I mean, again, you're one of the most exciting fighters to watch. I mean, do you think you train any differently from any other fighter? I mean, is it just natural for you?
Well, I've wrestled, 19 years now. I've just been competing, and I don't know what it is. I don't want to go out there and get beat up, so I'm going to go out there and beat them up first.
Now, you kind of talk about how you're going to make the move down to Grudge full time now. And Jay Merck and I were talking about it a little bit earlier in the show. How important is it to have coaches on that next level teaching you in that specific field, like Trevor Whitman in boxing?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, there's so many tricks and just little things, little technical stuff that you got to learn, and it takes time. And being down there, I know he's going to work with me a lot, and it's going to progress that much more.
Have you guys kind of set up a game plan, you and Trevor and Leister, and what's next for you, or at what point, how many fights you'd like to get in before trying to make that move to the bigger shows, whether it be Bellator or, eventually the UFC, anything like that? Any talks about that?
No, we're just sticking to training hard, as far as I think that stuff just comes, comes with more fights, and so the more fights I get, I hopefully start getting bigger fights. But no, we don't have a specific game plan. It's just, get the fights, fight.
Now, you talk about, getting more fights. How active do you plan on being in 2012?
I would like to fight once a month if I could.
Wow, I like it.
As often as possible.
Oh, my goodness.
Justin, what was your post-fight meal like?
Of course you would ask that.
One more time, sorry?
I said, what was your post-fight meal like?
Post-fight meal, I had Rock Bottom Brewery pretzel.
What was it?
Pretzels and cheese. It was awesome.
It was victory, and it was sweet.
Is it safe to say you're no longer 155 pounds right now?
No, definitely not. I'm about 180 pounds.
Yeah, you're lucky you didn't get around Jarred because he has this crazy, strange habit of smelling people's breath after they eat. So it's
only when they
crazy.
eat cookies, though.
Hey, that's gonna hurt him, not me.
So what's the plan now, Justin? I mean, obviously you're going to take some time off. When are you going to get back in the gym?
I'll be in Arizona till right after New Year's Eve, and I'm going to get back and get right back into it. I'll be training down here, not as often as I would if I'm going to take a little break. I got to let this cut heal up. My leg's killing me.
Well, you definitely did, deserve a break. And was there anybody you wanted to thank? Any sponsor shout-outs, anything like that you want to get in?
It's just the Grudge training center, all my coaches, Jarred, LT, all the guys, Tyler, all those guys I train with down at the Grudge, they're pushing me to be the best I can be, and that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, Jarred was walking around after your fight saying, yeah, I know that guy. I trained with him.
Yeah, he's tossed
Yeah.
me on my head before.
I
so.
roll with him.
He tossed Yeah, my head a couple times also.
Nice.
Double A.
Well, Justin, we appreciate you taking time, buddy, especially since you're probably just still near the airport, if not in the airport still, and enjoy your vacation. Well earned.
Yeah. Hey, thank you very much.
All right, later, Justin.
Yeah, you have a good one.
You too. Man, so much talent in Colorado right now, and you're starting to see the effects of it, with some of the higher level guys, maybe not getting fights as easily as they want to, not being able to be as active as they want to, just because it's hard to find matchups.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's when the guys kind of have to get out of the local scene, and you got to start going to other guys' home states and, fighting on their shows, because it's just tough. I mean, Colorado's blowing up, but, yeah, once you get a reputation in your home state, it's going to be, guys are going to, avoid those fights. So I'll be interested to see how many fights Justin does in-state. And you've noticed his last couple fights, they've actually brought in guys from other states. So we're already kind of seeing that with Justin.
Which is crazy considering the fact that he's only 3 fights into his actual professional career. And to get that kind of buzz, just not basically off of your,
well, like I said, he's an All-American college wrestler. 10 seconds of Google searching will show you that.
What was that?
All-American, Division I All-American.
What did you say, like something like Google?
Google search? You ever hear of it?
You kind of said it a little fast. I wasn't quite sure.
You googly? Yeah, quick Google search on your opponent. You see he's a high-level athlete, has succeeded in another sport that's very important to MMA. So it doesn't surprise me that guys wouldn't want to fight him, especially if they've watched some of his MMA fights on YouTube. He's slamming guys around, knocking them out. So
I was talking to my madre about this particular topic before I came in.
I don't speak Spanish.
It was German. I was talking to her about coming in, and it's pretty awesome that I could talk to my mom about MMA. And how important is it to come into a sport like mixed martial arts with a strong skill set already in one particular discipline like wrestling, jiu-jitsu, judo?
Yeah, I mean, it's hugely important. If you got guys starting in their early 20s with no prior experience, they got to learn everything at once, and it's going to be difficult when a guy's been wrestling, like Justin said, for 19 years. He's going to have that advantage on you no matter what. And even if you're a little more well-rounded, he'll always have that one area where he can dominate. He's fought some guys who are better strikers, better jiu-jitsu, but his wrestling and his athleticism are on such a high level that it can kind of overwhelm guys. So I think though in the future though we'll see guys start at an early age doing all the sports, and they'll be pretty high level at several of them. So it'll kind of even the playing field out a bit.
It's going to be crazy to see this next generation come up. We got a couple minutes. You want to take a call real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Mike, what's going on?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Pretty good.
Mike.
So I just wanted to call in and say appreciating the show, man. You're doing good today.
Thank
Nice.
you.
Appreciate that,
Always
Mike.
nice to hear kind words.
Don't
Yeah.
pump Jarred's head up too much more though, Mike, because we were on the way over here and he couldn't keep his eyes out of the mirror to look at himself.
I know. I was going to drive down there and meet him in the parking lot and fix that.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness! You were gonna fix his eyes?
Oh, geez, man, I wouldn't do that. That's a long drive.
He didn't say that he couldn't fix your eyes. He just didn't want to make the drive to do it.
He's trying to save gas money.
You're not worth his time. Mike, are you in Colorado?
Yeah.
Nice. Did you go to any of the events last night?
Yeah, I did. I went to the Ring of Fire.
Nice.
What'd you think?
Seriously?
I think I wish Johnny wouldn't have taken that fight on one day's notice.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. I mean, taking a
Yeah.
fight on one day notice against such a tough guy is
I was
not
impressed.
necessarily the best idea.
I was impressed.
It's well, I know Johnny. He's been training at Hughes for a while, and I told him he's not ready to fight, so they bounced from the gym, went over to 303, and took a fight.
Oh, wow.
I told him he can get kicked in the head and get knocked out. They don't like that, so.
Yeah, I don't think anybody likes getting knocked out.
Well, no, absolutely not. Just Johnny's got a lot of skill. He really does. The guy's really talented wrestler. I learned a lot from him. But habitually, fighters come into the game with things that you got to try to fix. And anybody of an average intelligence or better can see that someone's head is bobbing around waist height. They're just going to kick there blindly and probably get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It did become a little bit more exaggerated as the fight went on. It was nice and tight when the first round was going, but it did get a little bit more flamboyant with the movement. But Mike, great call, buddy. Appreciate you taking the time to give us a call.
You bet.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough to have to take a fight on that. Like you're saying, you kind of got to jump on the opportunity. I think Torres came out, showed enough potential to maybe gain a little bit more of a fan base, you think?
Yeah, but no matter what, you want to give yourself a fair chance. You want that 6, 7, 8 weeks. One, to make sure that your conditioning level is where you need to be. If it's not, boom, your hands start dropping further and further throughout the fight, and then you're going to put yourself in bad situations. But also, too, just to be able to set your game plan, know what your opponent's strengths and weaknesses are, and adapt to that. And you're not giving yourself a good opportunity to do that. This isn't just, like I said, if your whole goal is just to go in there, have fun, scrap it out, tough man style, then do it. Take a fight on any amount of notice you want. But if you have serious goals in the sport, give yourself, be a professional, give yourself a training camp and be well prepared for the fight.
Wow, man. You got a little bit of a knowledge dropping today.
Trying.
That dude said he was going to come rearrange your face, and you didn't say nothing.
I'm a lover.
You got punked on national, local television radio.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
How many kids you got?
I got 3 that I know of.
Oh, man. Colorado's in trouble, and Jersey's. Bunch of fist-pumping, tanning, laundry doing.
With
little
beautiful
kids
eyes.
Nice. Man, we got to take it down a couple notches.
GTL, baby.
GTL. This
That's
dude,
right.
too, with his guilty pleasure. Hey, Chris, how excited are you about New Jersey? Or is it Jersey Shore or New Jersey Shore?
It's just Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore. What?
Seriously, bro?
You disgraced yourself right there.
I don't think I disgraced anything by making
you
that
did.
comment at all.
New Jersey Shore. Everyone knows it's Jersey Shore.
Getting back to the question, Chris, are you excited about it?
Absolutely. January 5th, baby.
Woo woo. Snooki.
Right, J-Mark?
I can't wait.
We got to get this kid to a fight, J-Mark.
Who?
Chris.
Chris, yeah.
I think you got to.
He sees all the fights on Jersey Shore. Now he needs to.
If you end up your next fight, you got to get him tickets.
I will.
Think you can work that out?
Maybe.
You hear that, Chris?
I'm down.
Maybe we can get you to the point where you can walk out with Jarred and get the full effect, get the full feeling.
He'll be my corner man.
I'm there.
He listens to Over the
He'll
Rainbow.
be my water boy.
Nice.
Spray me.
You could be the guy waving the towel, cooling him down. Nice. All right, coming up, we got UFC 141 we're going to break down. We got Dr. Bob, one of the best chiropractors in Colorado, talking to us about his background, what it is that he does for these athletes. It's been an awesome show so far, J-Mark.
Yeah, I'm
You're
really
doing all
impressed
right.
with my performance today.
When we come back, you're going to intro us back into the show.
Oh, snap. First time
snap,
ever.
Son.
Don't blow it.
The debut. You are tuned into the MMA Meltdown Radio Show on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7.
MMA Meltdown powered by Science. Available at Circle K Conoco, Circle K Shell, and Jenny's Market. Science, the official energy drink of the UFC.
Attention, MMA Meltdown fans. Are you looking for medical coverage but have been denied because of a pre-existing condition or were approved with an astronomical premium and high deductible? Well, put an MMA Meltdown tap out to insurance premiums with guaranteed approval and 0 deductibles. And do what MMA Meltdown does and go to I'veGotCoverage.com. That's I'veGotCoverage.com. And be entered to win 2 free tickets to the next MMA event at Red and Jerry's and put a submission on high premiums with I'veGotCoverage.com.
The best party in town also has the best sports in town, Fox and Hound. Catch all the gameplay action on their big screen TVs. Try all their mouth-watering appetizers and entrees. You'll score big with their selection of ice-cold beers on tap. Get into the Fox and Hound and get into the game. Looking for a great place for your holiday party? They got you covered. Hurry into their 4 Denver area locations today. Fox and Hound. Sports, spirits, and fun. Lift, kickbox, swim, and save at the brand new Bally Sport Club in Aurora opening this December. Join before the club opens and save big with our founding member rates. Hurry into the existing Bally Total Fitness at 13801 East Exposition Avenue in Aurora to join the new Bally Sport and save big today. Restrictions apply. Hurry, offer ends December 15th. Lift, kickbox, swim, and save at the brand new Bally Sport Club in Aurora opening this December.
All right, we're back here on Mile High Sports Radio. And all my fanatics out there, you're part of history. My first time bringing us back from a commercial break. How'd it go?
You went awesome.
Whew.
Man, I'm worried about my job now.
Man, my hands are shaking. I didn't know if that was from the Zions Or from the pressure of you staring at me while doing it.
Those eyes, man.
Yeah.
I can't even
that
lie.
ice cold glare.
All right. Like my boy Jay Merck said, you are back with MMA Meltdown on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. It's been a fun show so far. I hope you're enjoying us while you're watching the Bronco game on mute. Because you can't listen to both.
Yeah. I listen to the announcers. I'm way better than them. And you're, kind of on par.
Nah, I don't even try. I just throw it out, whatever's there. But our next guest helps athletes like yourself, Jay Merck, keep doing what you love to do. Dr. Bob Bridge. What's going on, Dr. Bob?
Nothing much. Thanks for having me on today, guys.
No problem.
How you feeling? How'd you enjoy those fights last night?
Still recovering from the fights. What a great night in Colorado fighting. I'll tell you, it was awesome.
It was fantastic. I got to meet Dr. Bob last night, Jay.
So did I.
See how you are?
Boom, I just had
Dr.
to one-up
Bob,
you.
he won't let me get anything on my solo. So, Dr. Bob, tell us a little bit more about yourself. As I understand, you're an athlete yourself. You have a very impressive background in competing yourself, and then you made the transition. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit of background on yourself?
Sure. Started off with football and boxing basically through high school, and then transitioned out of college football, D2 college football, went into Super League rugby here in the United States. And what a good time.
Rugby's a tough sport.
Yeah, that's hardcore.
And believe it or not, good crossover for MMA guys.
I bet.
Yeah, no doubt.
Rugby guys are animals.
But so anyway, yeah, did that stuff and moved out here to Colorado and just lucked out. Got a call from Sven one day and got Dwayne Ludwig over here and kind of got in with some MMA guys and treat quite a few now.
Nice. Who else are you working with besides Dwayne?
Well, since I've been here, I've had Per Auckland, Joe Warren comes up. Do work on James McSweeney, but mostly with acupuncture. He does have another chiropractor.
Okay.
Leonard Garcia and Luke Cadilla, Mike Sullivan, and actually Michelle Blaylock was coming here for a while.
Nice.
And with the change in her team, I don't know if she changed chiropractors or what.
Right. Yeah, well, it's definitely some of the best in the sport we have around here. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Doctor, obviously because you're an athlete yourself, you can kind of see the value. But what is it about MMA that you see the value in working with so many fighters with?
Well, I think it keeps them on track. It's really good for preventing injuries, not alone just for the actual injury itself. It keeps these guys going every day. If you feel good when you're training, you're going to be better in your sport. If you're slacking because the ribs out, you can't breathe right, your training sessions aren't going to be good. And you got to be the top, especially before a contest.
Absolutely. I think one of the things a lot of guys are guilty of, including myself, is kind of waiting till after they have an injury to start treating it. Is that something you really preach to your athletes, is to stay on top of things to come see you before they get injured, and then you have to kind of fix the injury?
Exactly. And the problem with that is if you do have an injury nagging you, you could be out 2-4 weeks before you get that thing 100%.
Right.
If you keep it preventatively or even catch it right in the beginning, you might be out only a week or two. And with today's stuff, there's just so much technology that helps us get through these injuries.
Absolutely. You mentioned the acupuncture. Of course, I've heard of acupuncture, but can you tell us a little bit about some of the benefits of that?
Acupuncture is amazing. Being a chiropractor, of course, coming from that background, I never saw much acupuncture, although they do coordinate in some schools with that. Unfortunately, I herniated 2 discs, about 8 years ago, and couldn't move. Literally could not even go up my steps. Went to a friend that was a chiropractor acupuncturist, did acupuncture probably about 2 weeks straight. Next thing you know, I'm working again. Just amazing benefits, amazing, especially for inflammation. Pain, it just gets them back on track quicker.
Now, I think athletes, especially athletes, understand the value in going and seeing a chiropractor for everyday aches and pains and adjustments to serious more serious injuries after a fight or training, things like that. What do you say to the people that really don't believe in your profession, that kind of doubt you guys, saying, well, you guys just make us come back every week just to kind of feed your pockets a little bit? What do you got to say to those kind of people?
Sure, we see that, and however, a lot of those guys aren't doing these people injustices. They're helping them out. They're keeping them healthy. But it's all what you can do. If you can't afford to go there weekly or can't afford to go monthly, do the best you can, and it keeps you from degenerating and getting arthritises. It's a wonderful way of doing it, and it's all natural, no drugs.
Yeah, I need to go check you out. I'm not an athlete of any type, but I was trying to get this remote off the couch, and I really didn't want to get up, and it just kind of tweaked my back a little bit. I think I got to go check you out too.
Well, and once again, there's so many technologies. I mean, there's stuff out there that people don't even know. I mean, I use some cold laser. When Dwayne Ludwig broke his ankle, he came up here and we just used the cold laser on him every day. Now, how much did it help him? We'll never be able to tell. But my goodness, that guy's come back stronger than ever.
Cold laser?
Yes. We have a laser that actually it works on the cells. It kind of increases the mitochondria, so the ATP. We're going back to high school biology here.
Yeah.
But it just speeds up the injury. Kind of out there stuff, and to be honest, I stayed away from it for a while. But I fractured a wrist playing pro rugby, and then I fractured one skiing up here in Breck. And, man, I went to a friend's place once again, chiropractor, and used the cold laser twice, probably about 2-3 times a week. And those injuries were done much quicker than you would, probably about 6 weeks instead of 8 weeks. And I'm an old man.
You're a big old man. If you haven't seen Dr. Bob,
he's about 1.5 feet taller than me.
You don't want 1.5 feet. Yeah, right. You don't want to challenge the dude to a game of horse or anything like that, because he's a bit intimidating when you walk
Our good
up
buddy
to him.
Ron Goldstein was trying to find him. He said, just look for the tallest guy in the crowd, and there he is.
I wasn't lying about that. Now, Doc, do you run into a situation where you're actually the person who can educate people on MMA and kind of introduce them to what it's really about?
You know, we do that a little bit. It's funny because I treat so many athletes up here. I got a ton of high school football players that come through here. With my rugby background, of course, I got a bunch of younger guys, probably from age 12 to 18 that come through here. And, of course, I've got the pictures of all these guys hanging on the wall, so they do ask questions. And it's amazing how much they do know about MMA already. This sport's really just it's just leaping ahead unbelievably.
You got 12-year-olds that play rugby?
Yes, we do. We have actually the team right up here, and I'm up here in north part of Thornton. The 12 to 14-year-old team won the championship this year here in the state.
Wow, what team was that?
It's called the Vikings.
Shout out to the Vikings.
I'm sorry, it's called the Dragons. The high school team's the Vikings. Yeah, Northside Dragons.
Shout out to both of them, the Vikings, the Dragons,
Yeah.
the Robots, whatever you got coming on. Crazy names. So, Dr. Bob, where do you see the industry going? I mean, it's nice to talk to people who have different viewpoints of the industry, and you know, they're kind of ambassadors of the sport, regardless, you know, if you're not in the cage or training, you know, you still do introduce people to the industry. So where do you see it going in terms of 2012 and just the growth of the sport altogether?
Well, I think it's bypassing a lot of things. I mean, I can remember, you know, as a kid wanting to go to boxing matches in Vegas, and I want to go to MMA fights in Vegas. You know, I just think it's just going to keep advancing. And once again, with how these kids train nowadays and with all the facilities popping up with good people that are training them, I just see it just keep advancing.
Absolutely. Dr. Bob, I just got a little quick technical question here. I'm kind of being selfish here. Let's say I get worked on you, is that something where you'd want to do it before working out or after working out or different day, or how does that work?
You know, I don't know that there's a difference. I think it's just a matter of, you know, getting the adjustment, feeling better. Personally, I like getting the adjustment before I get a workout in.
Okay.
Before I play my sport. When I was playing pro rugby, man, I was getting, you know, adjusted probably about five times a week.
Wow.
The other cool thing about it is, here we go back to injuries. Everybody relates it to the neck and back, but, you know, there's a lot of extremity injuries that we could get these people back quick. I mean, you got a sprained ankle. As long as you didn't tear anything, I could get you back probably about a week or two quicker than you would just in conventional ways.
Wow. I got armbar-citis. Can you do anything for that?
I think we can.
Man.
I banged up my shoulder a couple of weeks ago, so I need to get this work
Yeah,
done.
we need to work on you. We definitely do.
Absolutely. I'm trying to fight. February, it's going to be tough with, you know.
You hear the South plug, Doc? This is what I got to deal with. All he does is talk about himself. So, Dr. Bob, why don't you go and tell our listeners, you know, how they can contact you, where they can go check you out at, what the process is like in terms of starting up with you?
Yeah, just the startup is just giving us a call and getting on the schedule. There's probably about a half-hour consultation exam we have to go through. Everything from blood pressures to orthopedic tests and so forth. And then we go through the consult and tell you what I think I can do. I'm one of these guys is I'm not going to make you sign a contract and tell you got to be here forever. But however, I mean, you'll see the benefits, and that's a cool thing about working with athletes. They see the benefits pretty quickly, as opposed to laymen that aren't, you know, putting their body through the test. Ways of getting a hold of us, we do have email at horizonchiropractic@msn.com, and our phone number is 303-252-0202.
Nice. Any website?
We do have a website. It's horizonchiroclinic.com.
Does that feature some of the different techniques you're using, like freaking laser beams and stuff like
There
that.
is some cool stuff on there, and it even shows us we got some good massage therapists up here, especially when you do get some good contusions and stuff. We get that out of there and get you back on track quicker.
Nice. And Dr. Bob, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I have little pride to worry about. and I mean this in no disrespect, but some of these words you're using throw me all off, man.
Matt failed high school biology, so...
I thought you were talking about social studies.
Now, huh?
Dr. Bob, man, it was nice meeting you. We appreciate you calling in, taking this time away from your Sunday. I understand a lot of people just like to hang out, watch the games. But thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great day.
You too.
Dr. Bob Bridge, one of the best in the biz.
Absolutely.
You're going to go check him out?
Oh, I'd love to.
Make sure you mention MMA Meltdown.
Oh,
at
sure.
time of checkout.
Big time discounts coming.
I don't know. He probably won't.
You know
do
Matt Sierra?
He might turn you
him.
away, actually.
Like, we've never heard of him before.
I don't know who that guy is.
I drop your name everywhere I'm at.
Matt Sierra? You mean the guy who beat GSP?
Yeah. yeah, that's my co-host.
Yeah. I talked to that dude
He'll give you a
all the time.
jiu-jitsu private.
Oof. No privates for me, please. I mean, Doc Alex, Dr. Bob, I think it's important, and I see a lot of value in individuals like them just because it's not, MMA is just not about fighters fighting. There's all these different aspects of the game. It's its own world.
Absolutely. And like I said, it's very important to surround yourself with the right team, and that goes beyond just your boxing coaches, your jiu-jitsu coaches. It's it's having everything. It's preparing your body to do that, and you need people like Dr. Bob and a great doctor like Dr. Alex who goes out of his way to help all the fighters with their medical issues. So I mean, yeah, it's everything, and if you're a professional fighter, you need to be taking care of your body, and that goes beyond just the training sessions you're doing. It's recovering it once you get done. So
yeah, and a lot of fighters, win or lose, they're going to take that time off after the fights to recover. But if you have to deal with an injury after a fight like that, or without the proper treatment, I mean, it's going to take so much longer. I mean, you're just going to keep getting hurt. I mean, training, sparring, really whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's too hard of a sport to not handle the injuries as soon as they happen. Otherwise you're dealing with them for months or maybe forever.
And it's crazy the lengths that you guys go in your training regimen. I mean, you guys do yoga, CrossFit.
Man, I was doing I don't do CrossFit. I've done it a couple times. My buddy Jason Cox, CrossFit Elevation, done with him a couple times. But I work out with Stedman Hawkins, Lauren Landau, Rebecca Heck. So they're all great about making sure your biomechanics, everything like that, are worked out. So
biomechanics.
Yeah, it's like you go into some gyms and you got guys just throwing up heavy weight. Here it's like they're monitoring your posture the whole time. Using the TRX stuff, making sure that your form is proper. Because who cares how much weight you can throw up if your back's blowing out while you're doing it? So
I gotta say, you've impressed me this show.
Yeah, I read a lot of stuff on Wikipedia before this.
We were gonna cut you loose, but now I think we might hold on to you just for a little bit longer.
We're about to
At
fire
least until
you.
your looks run out. Man, it's been a great show. We still got UFC 141 to talk about. We're gonna break down the signing of Strikeforce back to Showtime. It's been a good time so far, Jay Merck. And what, you're on your 8th Zions?
At least.
And we're gonna go hang out at Taffolino's after this?
I'd love to.
You're buying the margaritas?
I'll buy the burritos.
What are you talking about? Margaritas, man. I said margaritas.
And I said burritos.
That's just unprofessional. All right, you are tuned into the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7.
In the meadow, we pretend our snowman is Irv Brown. We are Mile High Sports.
MMA Meltdown powered by Zions. Available at Circle K Conoco, Circle K Shell, and Jenny's Market. Zions, the official energy drink of the UFC.
The Colorado Fight Book is Colorado's only MMA coupon book for Colorado's MMA industry. We drive you new business, more exposure, more revenue, all at zero cost to advertisers. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter as we tweet local deals. Fightbook is a win-win situation for all Colorado MMA fans and businesses. We give you repetitive exposure to customers who are already interested in your product. Join the best gyms, events, clothing, and equipment suppliers and promoters in the state.
The best party in town also has the best sports in town. Fox and Hound. Catch all the gameplay action on their big screen TVs. Try all their mouth-watering appetizers and entrees. You'll score big with their selection of ice-cold beers on tap. Get into the Fox and Hound and get into the game. Looking for a great place for your holiday party? They got you covered. Hurry into their 4 Denver area locations today. Fox and Hound. Sports, spirits, and fun.
Attention, MMA Meltdown fans. Are you looking for medical coverage but have been denied because of a pre-existing condition or were approved with an astronomical premium and high deductible? Well, put an MMA Meltdown tap out to insurance premiums with guaranteed approval and 0 deductibles. And do what MMA Meltdown does and go to I'veGotCoverage.com. That's I'veGotCoverage.com. And be entered to win 2 free tickets to the next MMA event at Red & Jerry's and put a submission on high premiums with I'veGotCoverage.com. When looking for the finest in Mexican cuisine, no one can top the Burrito King Tafolinos. Try our Chicken Mole Wednesdays or our famous smothered burritos while you cool off with an ice-cold margarita. Or do what MMA Meltdown does and conquer the Tafolinos Grande platter. So bring down the family and have a great Tafolinos family night out at one of our convenient locations in Golden on the corner of 20th and Youngfield, or check out our delicious menu at tafolinos.com. Tafolinos.
Lift, kickbox, swim, and save at the brand new Bally Sport Club in Aurora opening this December. Join before the club opens and save big with our founding member rates. Hurry into the existing Bally Total Fitness at 13801 East Exposition Avenue in Aurora to join the new Bally Sport and save big today. Restrictions apply. Hurry, offer ends December 15th. Lift, kickbox, swim, and save at the brand new Bally Sport Club in Aurora opening this December.
Studio Vienna at Shred a New Look offers a full-service salon including customized sports injury massage treatments, full-service skincare treatments including waxing, makeup, and both hair and nail care. We offer services for both men and women, and all our services are fully customizable. We are located at 6050 West 92nd Avenue in Westminster, Colorado, or you can call us at 303-424-6461 for more information. Right now, we are offering 3 one-hour massage sessions, normally $195, now only $135. And you will get a free month of training at 303 Training Center, home of Dwayne Ludwig, with any purchase of $65 and more from Studio Vienna at Shred a New Look. Call us now, 303-424-6461.
MMA Meltdown, powered by Zions. Available at your local King Soopers, Loaf and Jug, Jenny's Market, Circle K convenience stores, and 7-Eleven.
This is why I'm hot. 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 I'm hot 'cause I'm fly. You ain't.
Man, that song brings me back to my college days when I had that as my ringtone. MMA Meltdown back on Mile High Sports Radio. Tell your friends right now to tune in, AM 1510, FM 93.7. Run and tell that, homeboy.
Get on that, gangsta.
What up?
You see what happens, Chris, when you play that kind of music?
He gets all cocky and starts talking about how in high school. This is his ringtone.
College. He went to McDonald's Hamburger College, and all of a sudden he talks about it like it's Stanford.
For a month, and then I dropped out.
Stupid sesame buns. What's going on next, J-Merc? What are we going to break down? What are we talking about?
Let's talk about Strikeforce renewing with Showtime.
What do you think about that, Chris?
Sounds good.
Nice.
You know, for those who don't know, Strikeforce was bought out by Zuffa, who owns UFC. So, you know, a lot of people thought once that happened that Strikeforce would kind of fizzle out and not renew their deal with Showtime, but to our surprise, they did. There's going to be...
It's still fizzling out. This is the beginning of the end. You serious?
No, I mean, initially everyone thought that once this option came up, they were going to choose to end the relationship and Strikeforce would be no longer. We know we're going to have at least this next year, but overall I think it's a 3-year extension on the contract. So, you know, we get a lot more Strikeforce ahead of us, and, you know, maybe not the same capacity it was, but it'll serve as a good place for prospects to come up and develop their skills and get some decent sponsorship money and things like that. So I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah. I could care less about Showtime.
That's because you don't have Showtime.
Man. Well, I got my financial situation on blast. You want to be? I live in an apartment too, Jarred. I put regular unleaded gas in my vehicle, not premium.
I've never used premium.
You want to break me down anymore?
I have a Ford Taurus. You think I'm putting premium in that?
Nice. Awesome. Nah, I mean, typically, in my eyes, it's just prolonging the situation. I think it's a very strategic way of maximizing the release of Strikeforce and the end of that company. They're releasing the heavyweight division.
They are releasing the heavyweight division, which I think is good because there's not that much depth in the heavyweight division.
Where did it go?
There's just never been a lot of depth, so I think it's good to kind of condense them all together. And there's probably 10 to 15 pretty high level heavyweights, so to get them all in one organization is good, I think.
The thing that I'm looking forward to most out of this new deal is the fact that they're going to start highlighting women's MMA more. I mean, that's going to basically take the place. This is their marquee. This is their feature. This is what's going to bring the viewers in.
Yeah, hopefully. The problem is they got Chris Cyborg. They just haven't been able to get her quality opponents. I mean, they bring in these girls who are just so outmatched.
They need to scout Colorado.
What's
the deal with that?
I don't know who's at 145 that could fight.
You?
Yeah, I don't want to fight her. Her biceps are double the size of mine.
Coach Eric Hines, I call him Coach Eric Hines. Referee Eric Hines last night said it best. Let's show them how women fight. Or let's show them how girls fight. What did he say? I don't know.
Something like that. That was like the longest start to a...
It was pretty awesome.
I guess.
You're just jealous because he doesn't say anything like that to your intros. You're just jealous because you got commentators saying lay and pray. And
Jarred Lay and Pray Mercado.
That's awesome. We're keeping that. It's going on the website.
I like it.
Man, my biggest beef with Strikeforce airing on Showtime is just the boxing feel that it has to it. Back in the day when Chi-Town Luke was with us, we had a pretty extensive argument concerning, how they were approaching it. The announcement is I'm going to go ahead and put it out there, a little jank to me.
I think it's a great announcement. I don't understand why you're upset with it.
I don't like you.
We went from everyone thinking that Strikeforce was going to be shut down, less spots for fighters to fight on a big stage. Now we got it renewed. There's guaranteed at least 6 fight cards this next year, between 6 to 8. So that's a lot of fight opportunities for guys that otherwise wouldn't have been there. So I'm pretty happy about it. Stop watching the game.
You would be happy about it.
Broncos are fumbling. Your team's going down in flames.
What are you talking about, my team? You got Tebow underwear on.
Yeah, Tebow's my guy, not the Broncos.
Don't ask me how I know.
I don't even know any other names of the Broncos players.
Yeah, you do.
Von Miller. I love him, too. He's got cool glasses.
Strikeforce re-signing the contract. It's going to keep the ratings with Showtime a little bit competitive, considering that one way or another, Spike TV is going to air MMA in some form or another, whether it's the UFC libraries that they still currently hold title to, or whether it's the emerging pending Bellator contract. Ion has fights. Versus has fights. Facebook has fights.
Fuel TV.
Fuel TV
FX,
has fights.
Fox FX.
Fox.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fights this next year. So if you're a hardcore fight fan, you're going to have more than your fill.
What about non-hardcore fight fans? What's the best way for people who are just barely getting introduced to the sport to follow along without necessarily getting overwhelmed?
I mean, just pick a few big pay-per-views a year. Try to catch a couple free ones, and I would say watch with some knowledgeable fans just to kind of get a better understanding of what's going on, who's fighting who, and what that fight means to the sport, and go from there. You don't need to watch 50 cards a year. Just pick a handful. This next one with Brock Lesnar, I'm sure will get a lot of eyes on it. But they're going to have probably 18 pay-per-views this next year. You don't need to watch every single one of them if you're just a casual fan.
18 pay-per-views. That's not even counting the free shows they're going to have, right?
Exactly. They're going to have something like 37 events, and that's not including the Ultimate Fighter shows. So,
what's up with I'm sorry that I'm not able to keep up on this, but Tough live. It's going to be live this season.
Right.
But now there's a Tough Brazil.
Yeah, Vanderlei Silva and Vitor Belfort are going to be the coaches down in Brazil, so that should be a nice little...
Is that going to air here?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't know the exact details on what channel it'll air on yet, but yeah, it'll air here, and at the end of the show we'll get Silva and Belfort fighting, so that'll be pretty cool.
And it gets back to the point, and you just talk about it, and you kind of feel overwhelmed, just preparing to as media. We kind of have to pay attention to as many of these events as you talk to. I mean, you say as a casual fan, pick and choose. I mean, we don't get to pick and choose. We're going to have all these national events. We got the local events we got to talk about. How saturated is the market right now? I mean, I know we talk about it pretty frequently, but I mean,
yeah, definitely.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
that's the thing for me, I love it. I could watch fights every weekend, and it wouldn't bother me. But like I said, it's hard. It's sometimes it makes it almost feel like a chore for some people. Like, man, there's fights on Friday night, Saturday night for the next 5 weeks. And you feel like you're losing some of the excitement about it. Like I said, back in the day in 2004, 2005, they only had 5 events the whole year, so you have a pay-per-view every 2 months. Get that hype and anticipation build up. Whereas now you don't have that. You have like 1 week to get hyped for an event. So there's a little difference there. But I mean, I'm still excited.
Now, Chris, you with us, buddy? You got your
I'm always with you
You
guys.
got your
I'm with
Zions in
you
hand.
guys.
You got your Zions in hand.
Got my Zions in hand.
Let's do a little Q&A with Chris. You ready, J. Merck?
Let's do it.
Oh, boy.
Let's do this. So, as it stands right now, Chris, I mean, you follow pretty much every single sport with the exception of MMA on a hardcore basis. Are you finding it easier to catch fights? Are you hearing a lot of MMA buzz within the sports industry?
Yeah, definitely a lot more. And you see, for example, if I'm flipping through ESPN or Sports Illustrated or any of the main websites, a big fight will always have, and I would say this is within the past year, you'll see a headline on one of those websites the following day about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like ESPN,
John Jones.
Yeah, they're always putting up the fight results and everything. So it's cool. Yeah, you're just slowly starting to see it seep into mainstream. Which there are some MMA fanatics who get upset. They kind of want it to be their little thing, and now it's going mainstream, and they don't like it. But
Now, Chris, what's stopping you from following MMA on a more consistent basis?
Chris is a man of the Lord.
What are you talking
He doesn't
about?
like violence.
No, it's nothing to do with violence. I mean, it's not nothing with violence, I don't think, because you look at hockey, which is they allow people to fight every day. For me, actually, more than anything, it's just following all the sports I have to follow. It's hard to even sneak in other ones. I have to make amends with some of the sports I'm supposed to be following now. I have to kind of, like everybody in the industry, if you can't watch 162 baseball games and you can't watch all 82 Nuggets and Avalanche games, you got to cut short somehow, and it's hard to follow another sport on top of that unless you have a real natural interest in it,
How big of a part does your lack of knowledge on the sport play in terms of not tuning in a little bit more? I mean, do you feel that if you knew a little bit more about what the moves were about, what the disciplines were, kind of understood the technique a little bit more, that you would be more in tune with that?
For sure, it's more I didn't grow up with it. If I had grown up with UFC and MMA and it'd been bigger when I was becoming like a sports fan, say between 8 and 12, those are kind of the main ages when kids start deciding what sports they like, what sports they don't like. If I've been into it then, and MMA has obviously grown so much the past 5-6 years, and I wasn't a huge boxing guy, and I wasn't a huge wrestling fan or anything that might be related or towards MMA or UFC, and because of that, I just never got into it. Although I had a lot of friends in college who were really into UFC and MMA.
What's your opinion on MMA's claim that it's the fastest growing sport in the world?
It sounds like it. A couple of years ago, it was poker. I remember 5-6 years ago. Remember everybody was talking about how poker is going to be the new big sport, and that was huge.
Poker's a sport?
Yeah, exactly. And that was kind of the argument is poker really a sport? Like, why are we watching a bunch of dudes playing cards? And I was part of it. I got really into poker, and it seemed like at the time that maybe, again, 5-6 years ago.
I think the fastest growing sport is online video game playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Those guys are athletes. They have to stay up for like 48 straight hours.
I do enjoy Farmville.
Play 12-year-olds in Japan and yeah, exactly.
But no, one thing I think the UFC can work on and kind of steal from boxing is just to build more personal interest stories. Anytime when you can actually get attached to the person and what their what their storyline is, that's when you're going to have interest. Even if you're not necessarily a huge fight fan, if you get connected to that person, if you ever watch the 24/7 HBO specials, whether it's Pacquiao versus Margarito or Mayweather versus someone, you get attached to the person. You see their family, you see their kids, you see their personal life, and then you feel like you have that rooting interest in them. Or there was the Contender boxing show where you just saw all the family and personal life of the person, and then you felt like you almost knew them. With the UFC, they have the Ultimate Fighter, and it's just like it's always the same stuff. These guys going in there being idiots, getting drunk, and then you don't even like it. So I don't want to see this nonsense. So I think they can do a better job to appeal to the casual fan of just getting us attached to the individuals rather than just the fights. You know, for me, yeah, give me fights all day long, but you know, some casual fans, they like to get together with friends, and if you can create a connection to what they're watching, you know, then I think you'll have more success.
Do you hear this guy, Chris?
I hear it. I mean, it's interesting. And to answer your question from before, is MMA the fastest growing sport in the world, in my opinion? It's definitely up there. I mean, it's hard to compare with, I'm trying to think of other sports that are really up and coming here, maybe even soccer or
curling.
Yeah, curling. That's really getting a big following. I mean,
I just want to know who calls poker a sport. What's next? Chess? Backgammon?
Exactly, but
Connect Four?
But poker's kind of died off. And I think MMA's
player.
picked up a lot of those. That growth that's been for poker is kind of spread into MMA. So, yeah, I would say pretty definitively. I really need to sit down and think about that, but I would say pretty safely that MMA is the fastest growing sport. I don't know about the world because it's hard to judge the whole rest of the world, but here I would say definitely. And especially here in Colorado, you guys talk about it all the time, how here in Colorado it's really been a big base for a lot of the growth for UFC and MMA.
Yeah, that's the thing about the MMA Meltdown show. We kind of got to talk about it all the time, Chris.
You guys are always talking about MMA.
Those guys in their tights, they're always touching each other and wrestling.
Hey, now.
Easy, Chris.
Whoa.
So in terms of making it more appealing to you, do you think it would be easier if there was like some type of team you could follow, a team of fighters you can follow, or would it be easier for you if you just attach yourself, like Jay Merck is saying, to one particular fighter and then just kind of following his career?
You know, that's interesting. That's a really interesting concept. Whether I think it would be interesting to try a team concept, like maybe a tap out or something like that. I don't know how it would work, but I think that would help. Yep, I think that would help, and especially if you could.
Yep.
I think here in Colorado, because if you think about it, here in Colorado, there's so much civic pride.
Point.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, you got a lot of civic pride here in Colorado, so if you created like a Denver Fighters or something, some sort of team like that, I think that could help a lot.
Nice.
Definitely.
All right, and there were some people that tried it before, but it continues to be an awesome show. Jay Merck, you're an awesome guy. Chris, thanks for your input, buddy. Coming
You're pretty
up next,
cool too, man.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. It's the tuxedo T-shirt, gangster. You are tuned into the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7.
We're going to have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny f***ing Kaye. We are Mile High Sports.
MMA Meltdown powered by Science. Available at Circle K Conoco, Circle K Shell, and Jenny's Market. Science, the official energy drink of the UFC.
When looking for the finest in Mexican cuisine, no one can top the Burrito King Tafolinos. Try our Chicken Mole Wednesdays or our famous smothered burritos while you cool off with an ice-cold margarita. Or do what MMA Meltdown does and conquer the Tafolinos Grande platter. So bring down the family and have a great Tafolinos family night out at one of our convenient locations in Golden on the corner of 20th and Youngfield, or check out our delicious menu at tafolinos.com. Tafolinos.
The Colorado Fight Book is Colorado's only MMA coupon book for Colorado's MMA industry. We drive you new business, more exposure, more revenue, all at zero cost to advertisers. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter as we tweet local deals. Fightbook is a win-win situation for all Colorado MMA fans and businesses. We give you repetitive exposure to customers who are already interested in your product. Join the best gyms, events, clothing, and equipment suppliers and promoters in the state.
This is Dwayne Bang Ludwig of the UFC. Come train with me at 303 Training Center in Westminster, Colorado. We offer classes in Bang Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, and mixed martial arts, as well as kickboxing and fitness classes. We have outstanding kids classes to make your son and daughter a champion in school and in life. We make everyone feel part of the team. So whether you want to step into the cage, get in the best shape of your life, and be able to take care of yourself on the street, we're here for you. We're at the corner of 92nd and Harlan, 303trainingscenter.com. Come in today. Fusebox Mixed Martial Arts. Fusebox.com, 303-875-4281. Head coach Michael Sullivan is a proven coach in grooming fighters from the ground up. No prior experience necessary. The only Sambo BJJ-based gym in Colorado. Fusebox Sambo, Paxiao BJJ, Muay Thai, boxing, kickboxing, conditioning, and self-defense. Receive 2 free months when you mention MMA Meltdown. Fusebox Mixed Martial Arts, FUSBOXE.com or 303-875-4281.
American Ground and Pound is what the red, white, and blue is all about. This Colorado-born fight gear company provides you with only the best in quality and value. Find our hats, hoodies, and tees for men, women, and youth at AmericanGroundandPound.com or at most Colorado-based MMA events. Show your pride in your country and the world's fastest-growing sport, MMA. Come join the American Ground and Pound Nation on Facebook by searching for American Ground and Pound. American Ground and Pound. Hell yeah, I'm an American.
The best party in town also has the best sports in town. Fox and Hound. Catch all the gameplay action on their big screen TVs. Try all their mouth-watering appetizers and entrees. You'll score big with their selection of ice-cold beers on tap. Get into the Fox and Hound and get into the game. Looking for a great place for your holiday party? They got you covered. Hurry into their 4 Denver area locations today. Fox and Hound. Sports, spirits, and fun.
What's up, MMA Meltdown fans? Here's your chance to win free tickets for an upcoming MMA live local fight for free. What? Did you say for free? That's right, for free. Simply go to MMAMeltdown.us and click Win Tickets for your chance to win 2 free tickets. So this is your chance to check out live local MMA events for free. What? Did you say for free? Yes, that's what I said, for free. Only at MMAMeltdown.us. Certain restrictions apply at MMAMeltdown.us.
MMA Meltdown, powered by Science. Available at your local King Supers, Loaf and Jug, Jenny's Market, Circle K convenience stores, and 7-Eleven.
Little J-Ho to bring us back. And we are back. You are back to the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. Matt Sierra, Jay Merck, Jarred Mercado, a.k.a. Jarred Mercado, a.k.a.
Tebow is
Lay and Pray.
Tebow's not doing so hot right now. Fumbled twice.
Nah.
I still believe, though.
Yeah, you would. Why do you believe so much in this guy? And let's talk about Tebow's impact on MMA, apparently, with 2 individuals on 2 different fight promotions Tebowing in the ring, on the cage.
Who Tebowed besides Tyler, Toner?
Angelo Duarte did. I didn't even see Toner do it.
Yeah, Tyler did it after his fight.
Angelo Duarte did it before the fight. And then I don't remember the guy's name, but
it's got to come afterwards.
At the Rocky Mountain Bad Boy show, someone Tebow too after. Yeah, and I agree too. It has to come afterwards. Otherwise, you're kind of counting your chickens before they hatch a little bit, huh?
Definitely.
Now, UFC are, without a doubt, the biggest MMA promotion company in the world. Having some issues being consistent in my eyes in terms of how they're disciplining their athletes and how they're handling their code of conduct situation. Miguel Torres, unfortunately got kicked out of the UFC because of a Twitter joke. As it was inappropriate.
Yeah, it was definitely inappropriate, and I don't think anyone who's spoken out about that would disagree with that. They've all acknowledged that it's very dumb of Miguel Torres. He's got to understand that in that position, his words are going to be seen by thousands of people. He's got 50,000 Twitter followers. The problem is that you said there's a lack of consistency. The UFC encourages guys to get on their Twitter. They pay you for having the most creative tweets. So of course guys are going to be outlandish and try to be funny and things like that. But there's no clear code of conduct in place. There's nothing that says don't say this stuff. You can't talk about this type of stuff. If you say these things, you'll be punished. There's nothing like that. And even worse than that, Rashad Evans, Forrest Griffin, guys have said things that are also very inappropriate, and they've gotten away with it.
They've done things. Rampage Evans is doing, gyrating his crazy hips against some reporter, motorboating other people. It's getting crazy.
Yeah, there's a long list of guys who have done inappropriate things and who've gone without punishment. And then, we have examples like this where Miguel Torres kind of made an example out of and, loses his job.
Brock Lesnar made some stupid comments after his first win, didn't he? Like he had a beer can or something like that, or didn't he?
Oh yeah, well he said he was he was going to drink Coors Light instead of Bud Light, and Bud Light was a UFC sponsor. He also gave the finger to the crowd, and I mean Chael Sonnen got caught for money laundering. There's a long list of guys doing crazy things, and then Miguel Torres. Again, I'm not sticking up for what he said or did, but there's got to be something in place to let these guys know, especially if you're encouraging them and pushing them to tweet and be active with their fan base. Give them some guidelines, give them some instructions so that they know what is off limits and what is not. And it's unfortunate that Miguel Torres paid the price.
Now, is Dana White jumping off is he maybe jumping the gun just a little bit, handing out these disciplines?
Well, I think what happened is that they kind of he was on a radio show and got caught off guard and made to look a little bad and kind of reacted. I mean, Dana's very impulsive and will make quick decisions like that.
Emotional.
Without really thinking it through. And once he makes his mind up, then he gets really stubborn if people start criticizing it, and he'll kind of try to start sticking to his guns. And, so we'll see. Hopefully Miguel Torres will come back quickly. Again, I don't think that punishment necessarily fits the crime. So we'll see.
Is Dana White ready for the boom that's going to follow with all this national mainstream?
I mean, he's probably the most popular person in the UFC, including all the fighters.
But is he ready? I mean, you have the NFL, and you got somebody like a commissioner and Roger Goodell who handles this, who has certain people.
I mean, he certainly does not.
Place.
He certainly does not act the way leaders of other sports do, and to some people that appeals to them. People
does he need to step up his game?
I think so. I think they need to work on their PR at times a little bit, and he needs to, fix his emotions sometimes in terms of he reacts so quickly, and then kind of then they got to backtrack on that and cover up for his mistakes. But
is he doing MMA as a sport injustice with these kind of inconsistent actions?
I don't think he's doing it injustice. I mean, maybe some guys suffer because of it, but I mean, Dana White is a big reason why the sport is where it is today. Without the UFC, Dana White and the Fertitta brothers building this thing up, we wouldn't even be here.
But the business model needs to adapt with the growth.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that they're in the mainstream, he needs to, check himself a little bit and act a little more professional. I mean, he's the same guy that got in trouble for using, homophobic slurs and criticizing a female reporter using some very inappropriate language. So I mean, you got to set the example from the top, and he doesn't.
Double standard.
He does. He sets a double standard. But yeah, you got to set the bar of how you want your employees to behave, and he certainly does not. So if he really wants it to become the biggest sport in the world, I think he needs to improve his behavior and his consistency as well.
Restructure the innards of the UFC. We have Chris on the line. Hey, Chris, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What up, Chris?
Chillaxing?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I'm just watching the Bronco game, and I'm about to throw up. So,
man, Tebow,
talk some fighting.
About to throw up. If you watch the Broncos on a weekly basis, you should pretty much be used to it. You should have a whole closet full of Tupperware containers.
Yeah, no kidding.
What's going on, Chris? What kind of fighting do you want to talk about, buddy?
Well, I saw your post, so I love this matchup, man. Two huge guys, and it's going to be anything like Verdum and Overeem. That's going to make me sick too, but I don't think it's going to be like that. We'll see some fireworks.
Yeah, I think stylistically it won't go that way just because Lesnar, because of his wrestling this fight, I think he'll either get the takedown or he'll get damaged trying to. And, that fight with Verdum and Overeem, Verdum wasn't able to get the fight to the ground, and we saw a lot of butt flopping. And I don't think you'll see Lesnar, butt scooting around the mat. So hopefully it doesn't end up like that.
I think Brock Lesnar is going to be the Kimbo Slice of this particular matchup.
I'm going to go ahead and agree with you there.
When you say the Kimbo Slice, what do you mean by that?
I think compared to Alistair, he's just he seems one-dimensional in terms of he's only relying on his strength and his wrestling ability. I mean, I haven't seen an extremely skilled set in terms of boxing out of Brock. Really, I mean, Alistair.
No, I mean, and his path to victory isn't going to be through boxing, but
well, I
think there's a lot of
Chris got it.
I think there's a lot of question marks about Overeem too. I mean, most of his success at heavyweight has come against lower level fighters or in kickboxing. When he fought at 205, every top guy he fought, he lost for the most part. He's made the move up to heavyweight, added on a lot of muscle, and he is definitely a great kickboxer. But we'll see if he can defend Brock's takedowns. If he can, he's had a history of getting tired in fights, of taking hard shots and then kind of falling apart. So, I think both guys have weaknesses.
Now, Chris, of that entire card, who do you got as fight of the night? Just prediction.
Shoot, man, that could go. You could go two no names on that one. I mean, depending on who's the co-main event, is that Donald Cerrone?
Yeah,
Diaz, yeah.
I think that one's gonna be
Oh,
fireworks.
man.
Heck yeah.
That's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, that should be
Pretty
awesome.
John Fitch is fighting too. He's always performing pretty well.
Yeah, John Fitch looks pretty good. I mean, I would have to go Cerrone and Diaz, but
Yeah, I agree with that.
again, I don't know. Cerrone, if Diaz tries to stand up with him, I think Cerrone will pick him apart because Nate is not Nick. But
Right.
again, if it goes to the ground, that's almost even. I'd give it to Diaz, but Cerrone's not a slouch.
No,
on the
I
ground.
think they're
But
both very
stand
well
up,
rounded.
I think he'll take Nick out.
Nice.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
All right, Chris. Well, I appreciate you calling, buddy. Thanks for paying attention to the MMA Meltdown Radio show during
Yeah,
the
keep
so-called
doing
Bronco
what you're doing,
game.
guys. Do big things. Right
Thank
on.
you. Appreciate it.
buddy. Speaking of the Diaz brothers, you were telling me an interesting story about how you met one of the Diaz brothers. Why don't you go
Yeah,
and,
I was back in the day, like probably three years ago. I was at a UFC event, and
listen to this one.
after
Chris.
the fights, we were up in the VIP area. I don't even know how I got back there, and I got a little starstruck. I saw Nate Diaz, and I just walked up to him and I said, "Thank you," and I shook his hand. And then he said, "Thank you," and then I said, "Thank you," and then I walked away. So that was my big interaction with a UFC fighter.
Way to perform under the club.
Like a 12-year-old at a stadium.
He thought
Pretty much.
You would think he was talking to Justin Bieber.
Man, I wouldn't even be able to speak if I saw Justin Bieber.
Oh,
I'd be
man.
crying.
I got Bieber fever.
Who doesn't?
I don't know. Chris, you got Bieber fever?
I would say the sniffles, not quite a fever.
Nice. If you like New Jersey Shore, you gotta have some Bieber fever.
Jersey Shore.
Same difference, bro. I'm never gonna say it right. You might as well just get used to it.
It's a lot of fighting. You would love it.
I've known Jarred for 10 years, and I still say his name wrong on purpose.
Dude, the best was when Snooki got punched in the face.
Nice.
That was awesome. Did you see that, Chris?
You guys are dumb.
I did see that. I don't think that's the best thing ever, but I do enjoy some of the violence on that show.
Nice. You know who I'm excited to see fight on the card, just because I'm a fan of his, Vladimir Matyushenko. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. He's on his way out.
I think, yeah. I mean, he's definitely a solid veteran. He's always, always putting up a good fight unless he's fighting John Jones. But
Did you talk to Cerrone last night?
I did not. I didn't even see him.
Donald Cerrone at Ring of Fire, helping out with Toys for Tots,
Nice.
signing autographs, doing great things within the community. Man, it's just crazy, to see the growth of UFC. I don't know if you've seen that YouTube video that popped up where it was Dana White's first introduction as the owner of the UFC and how he was going to make the changes to it.
Yeah, watching the Dana White videos from 10 years ago are hilarious. He's like
crazy.
40 pounds lighter, has hair, and he's just got a whole different attitude and mentality than he does now.
Do you think the amount of money that he's making is a little bit overwhelming in terms of what he needs to do?
I mean, I guess, you making millions, I guess that could affect anyone. I think it's more about the power than anything else, though. I mean,
How do you regulate that? How do you step back from your own ego and look at the overall value of your company and determine what needs to be done next?
I don't know. I mean, if you're on a power trip, it's hard for you personally to step back and make the changes. And unless something really negative happens to the country, or to the company, I don't think you'll necessarily see that change. Man, the Broncos just fumbling all over the place. I know, country. I'm turning into you over here.
That'd be awesome. 2 of me on this show. Are you serious? We'd win Emmys, Golden Globes. Do they give Golden Globes for the radio, Chris?
No.
We're gonna have to get on the committee over there and try to get that fixed, get it worked out. Have your people call their people, Chris.
Boy, this is ugly.
Yeah.
Too many fumbles here. Come on.
My goodness, this is crazy.
The Bronco fingers, the Butterfingers.
Nice, the Bronco fingers. Anywho, so what do you think has to be done? What do you think is the next step for the UFC? I mean, a really big step. I mean, obviously there's benchmarks you like to see in careers. You can look back at the UFC and be, reference the Forrest Griffin Bonner fight, be like, bam, there was one huge step. There was, a boom that the UFC experienced.
I mean, I think they
What's
took that
next?
step. I think they took that step with the Fox deal. That's really just going to add a ton of content and some legitimacy.
How many cards are going to air on Fox this next one?
I don't know the exact number, but
Our boy Bangs on
I
that.
think there's going to be 4 on Fox, and then of course all their smaller channels like FX and Fuel and all those are going to have a bunch of shows as well. So
Do you think mainstream Fox audience is ready for a bloodbath type of fight? You think they can handle that? You're going to turn people away with that?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it would be worse if, obviously the worst fear is if someone got like seriously injured, then that would be bad. But
well, look at football. These cats get, injured
yeah, but
all the time. They get carted off.
It's different.
How many fighters you get carted off?
It's different. It's even different. Like what Chris was saying, people like hockey. It's like if people will go crazy over hockey because they're like, oh, I can't wait. I love the fights. But when you actually see guys, without all the padding on everything and punching each other and kicking each other in the head, that's like more vivid imagery to the people, and that can be too much for them to see sometimes. So
we are talking about a network that has the Family Guy on, so I don't think there's too much shock value.
Well, I think it'd be a different audience of Family Guy fans and fight fans, but
I don't know. Have you seen the chicken episode?
But yeah, so I mean, I think this Fox one is the next big step, and I guess the growth of the sport depends on how well that goes over with Fox over the next couple years.
Oh man, it's gonna be crazy. UFC 141 coming up. I mean, the Paramount fights. There's fights in February. Seth's coming through. Is that gonna be an all amateur show?
No, that's gonna be mixed. Gonna have pro and amateur, and I'll probably be on one of those. I was talking to Seth about getting on that Paramount one. He offered me some opponents, so I'd love to be on that one. I just saw the fight card for that today. It looks great. I think it's definitely one of the best fight to wins that we've had in a while.
It's gonna be awesome. You know what else is gonna be awesome is after this, just because I'm hurting from trying to get that remote off the couches, I'm gonna go head over to Studio Vienna at Shred a New Look, talk to Bettina, get some of these kinks worked out, got some knots. If you need to get some kinks and knots worked out, go check them out at 6050 West 92nd Avenue next to Wits End. Again, ask for Bettina, she'll take care of you. J. Merck, you did an awesome job.
Thanks, man.
What do you think? 4 gold stars, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
5.
Yeah.
Out of what?
7.
Are we saying at 5 out of what?
7 stars
20?
out of 5.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5?
7 out of 5.
We love him.
Yeah, I don't know. Easy on that Wii stuff, buddy. That's crazy talk.
It's just science.
Nice. Good plug,
Once that
buddy.
wears off, they'll knock it down to 2 stars.
Yeah, it's bananas. It was a great show, buddy. Thanks to all our guests
All right,
coming on.
big
Dr.
second
Bob
half here
Bridge.
for Tebow, baby.
What?
Tebow.
Chris, you got to help him out, buddy, because I'm not on that bandwagon yet. I don't know.
I'm a believer.
I don't know what you're going to do here. You're going to be walking home. But thanks for tuning in to the MMA Meltdown Radio Show here on Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. We are Mile High Sports.
What's up, MMA Meltdown fans? Here's your chance to win free tickets for an upcoming MMA live local fight for free. What? Did you say for free? That's right, for free. Simply go to MMAMeltdown.us and click Win Tickets for your chance to win 2 free tickets. So this is your chance to check out live local MMA events for free. What? Did you say for free? Yes, that's what I said, for free. Only at MMAMeltdown.us. Certain restrictions apply at MMAMeltdown.us.
Hey, what's up? This is Anthony Showtime Pettis. You're listening to MMA Meltdown on Mile High Sports Radio.
Come follow the fastest growing sport in the world, mixed martial arts, with MMA Meltdown, powered by Zions, the official energy drink of the UFC. Follow your favorite fighters as they step out of the cage and into the Mile High Sports studios on MMA Meltdown, powered by Zions. We cover all the local and national MMA events as we bring to you MMA Meltdown Sundays, powered by Zions.
The Colorado Fight Book is Colorado's only MMA coupon book for Colorado's MMA industry. We drive you new business, more exposure, more revenue, all at zero cost to advertisers. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter as we tweet local deals. Fight Book is a win-win situation for all Colorado MMA fans and businesses. We give you repetitive exposure to customers who are already interested in your product. Join the best gyms, events, clothing, and equipment suppliers and promoters in the state.
American Ground and Pound is what the red, white, and blue is all about. This Colorado-born fight gear company provides you with only the best in quality and value. Find our hats, hoodies, and tees for men, women, and youth at AmericanGroundandPound.com or at most Colorado-based MMA events. Show your pride in your country and the world's fastest-growing sport, MMA. Come join the American Ground and Pound Nation on Facebook by searching for American Ground and Pound. American Ground and Pound. Hell yeah, I'm an American.
Hark the Herald Angels sing. Wait a minute, who is this Herald guy? Who's singing? Let's talk about the Snow Angels. That's right, it's that time. December means only one thing. The Mile High Sports Snow Angels issue is here. As always, the Snow Angels won't disappoint. More than 50 models, more than 160 pages of big color photos. Call it a guilty pleasure, like bonbons or Christmas cookies, but make sure to grab a copy of this year's Snow Angels issue. Plus, there's a little surprise for everyone on the cover. Pick up yours today at newsstands everywhere or check it out at milehighsports.com.